HHDG. Peace, HHDG. We are on another episode of HHDG Media, the podcast. Big shout out to everyone tuning in through our YouTube channel, as well as our Facebook group, HHDG. As always, you wouldn't see my face if it wasn't part of our company, HHDG Media Inc., which consists of Rock Vader KB, myself, Wiki, T. Smith, Demir, and Skelly Top. You can also go to our website, as you can see on the bottom banner, hhdgmedia.com, for latest music, our written interviews, also our live interviews, which are on our YouTube channel, but we also now putting them through our website, and also our merch and upcoming events. For tonight, we have an MC and a producer who have continuously shown what skills are all about, as well as when it comes to I wouldn't really say politics, but I would say speaking on a humanitarian level of what a lot of us people in certain countries are going through, as well as how the system, the government in certain countries, as well as this country, is showing ways to suppress people. And I'd like to think, and we'll find out if that was the connection with the two of them. And pretty much from there, I would say, aside from that, they show what hip hop is truly all about, and that's a form of the expression from the bottom, and the people, the independence and the people speaking out is what really continues to have hip hop flourish, and you can see that in other countries as well. It's still a form of expression, the same way the way it started here in the U.S. And I know a lot of people continue to appreciate that and show it by taking advantage of what we have with the internet and all the social media platforms to continue to let the world know what's really going on out there, and not always succumb to what the mainstream media portrays. Getting into the production side of things, we have a producer who holds many hats aside from that, but when it comes to the production, he's got his own flavor to it. And with names like Cool G Rap, FU, Chic Luch, who else? Method Man, just to name a few of the people out there who have definitely shined on his production, and he continues to do that. And on the MC side of things, we have a lyricist who he has that raw lyricism that comes with what he speaks about in his life, hip hop, and like I was explaining before, speaking on the humanitarian side of things in the world. And he's been doing this for quite some time as well. Son of Samson is a project that y'all definitely need to go check out. But for tonight, we're gonna speak more specifically with the latest project with the two of them, which is Mad Levels, which came out on November 21st of this year. And also speak on the company DITCD, and show what that connection comes into play with one of our guests for tonight. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Level 13. Peace, peace.
Peace. What's up?
And also Matt Maddox.
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Definitely. Appreciate that.
Likewise, man.
Man. So like before we jump right into the new project, Mad Levels, I was saying in the intro, was that the connection with the two of you?
Well, like the political aspect? Actually,
Yeah.
no. We knew each other
Really?
for a while.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, outside of politics and shit, like I don't know, like how much we differ and like or similar and shit. But no, believe it or not, nah, it had nothing to do with anything.
Okay. All right.
But I mean, well, like you know what I mean, out down on the hill, you know what I mean, like I'm definitely like small L libertarian, like anarchist, you know what I mean. So
Mhm.
I mean, I appreciate anybody who understands, like, you know, fucking big government and also big corporations, fucking marriage. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the roles they play. You know what I mean? On destabilizing countries, our country, every country. You know what I mean? So yeah, no, I definitely, you know what I mean. I appreciate anybody who understands that, but actually, no, that's not. But that's not really how we connected. It's funny how you say that. It's weird though.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, that's dope though.
Yeah. Now I would say, honestly, we just connected through similar vibes with the music and
Okay.
just appreciation for each other's craft. But I hear what Level 13, what he's saying, and I agree with that. I've as a lyricist, as an MC, as I believe you said in the intro, I've been doing this for a minute, and early on, I was a lot more like politically charged. I spit from like a world stage, as I like to kind of put it. You know what I mean? I take what I see, what I've researched, things that
Mhm.
I've looked into, and try to. I always kind of advocated like do your own research. You know what I mean? Like you don't got to take it from me. You don't got to take it
Right,
from
right.
anybody. Really, like I would prefer that you do the homework yourself. You know what I mean? But like
Yeah.
I find that given the opportunity and given the platform that I have, and in a sense, almost like a civic, like a civil duty upon myself, like just from a lot of the MCs that inspired me and influenced me, you know, uh, from spanning a range from like Nas to Tupac to like Immortal Technique or some cats like that have a broad range of topics they cover and things
Mhm.
like that. Early on, I was real politically charged, and I wanted to, expose a lot of shit and let people at least give them a mindset and kind of like a key. You know what I mean? Like give them the key to be like, yo, like this, you can open this whole doorway down this hallway of multiple doors, and you can go and discover all this shit for yourself, but like understand that exists. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I feel like lately I've gotten a little less politically charged overall, just because one thing I've learned in this game is like everybody, and this life in general, like everybody always gonna have something to say, which I try to like water off my back type of shit. But I didn't want to be generalized or put in a box of like being a one trick pony kind of thing.
Mhm.
As I developed as a songwriter, as an artist myself, discovering things myself on a day to day basis. I try to expand musically my horizons, my reach, and things like that as well. But yeah, I agree, man. The just to say a little bit, like I think that what Level 13 was just saying, like the decentralization, like we trying to expose like the church and state. You know what I mean? Like the marriage there, and you know what I mean. Oh, his manager done stepped in right now,
Yeah,
but
exactly. Big
no, but you
boss.
know what I mean. it's important that people know that, or at least are exposed to that kind of information, whether or not they decide to pursue it. But yeah, nah, I guess that's not really how we met. But I'm glad to, be working with somebody that's open minded and feels the way he feels about it.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, because that's one of the things in making music is sometimes the some things that click with two people, you never know what
Exactly.
it could be. Yeah,
Yeah.
dope, dope. So Matt, tell us about your first cassette tape.
Man, the first cassette tape I ever had. Yeah. Real rap. It's funny that you say that because back in the day, the first cassette I ever had, I was a little hoodlum, and I actually racked it. I went and stole that shit, but it was, believe it or not, go figure, it was Public Enemy tape, and
Let me see.
Chuck D, put me onto a lot of game, and that's another MC, shouts out to Chuck D that
Mhm.
has really put exposing and information on the forefront of his career path. You know what I mean? In his music and their
Yeah,
music with Public Enemy. But yeah, first tape ever. I mean, beside like my brother and I have always been hip hop heads growing up since we were little kids, and it was one of those relationships with him where he was more the collector. I was always a student of the art form, but he would always be bringing shit home and be like, "Yo, like check this album." And I think the first thing that he showed me was like a Criss Cross tape or something. You know what I mean?
okay.
And I was like, "Damn, all right." Like, and but we were kids. We were kids then too, and we seeing them do it. It was like had that epiphany. We were like, "Yo, we could do this
We could
shit."
do
You
it.
know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like we could do
Hmm.
that. And um, but yeah, so I was like, I wanted to go get some of my own tapes, and yeah, I went out and I shoplifted. I got arrested in like sixth grade for that shit. You know what I mean? But time that's how it was then.
Okay.
But
Yep. Wow, man.
how
Yeah,
about you? What was your first tape?
man. The crazy thing is when I was younger, I wasn't buying too many albums on cassette. I was buying the maxi singles with the instrumentals
Mm,
and the acapellas and the crazy B sides and stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
That's what
yeah.
was in my Walkman back then.
Hell yeah, that's what's up though. I remember that. It would be dope to see like a renaissance of that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, definitely.
Okay. Okay, your milk. Your milk. Oh, boy. Sorry, guys.
It's all
Nah,
right.
you know how it
All
is,
right.
man. You got to
My
give it to him real.
Mommy.
Yep.
Your milk. Let's see mommy.
My pops is I always tell the story, but he listened to a lot of Public Enemy and KRS-One growing up, so that
Yeah,
was
yeah,
that was one of my early introductions to them, as well as my uncle who got me into DJing.
yeah. That's dope, man. So you DJ too and everything?
Yeah,
That's what's up. It looked like you got a grip of vinyl back there behind you.
yeah, that's a little bit of it.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
So,
Sorry, guys.
no, that's all right.
He was
Nah,
knocked
no
out.
apology
I,
needed,
I
bro.
God,
understand.
yo.
My two boys a little older now, but I remember that age.
Yeah, me too, bro. It's all part of it, man.
Fun times.
Yeah, wait till she turned 13 and she don't know you no more, man.
Oh, man. Not looking forward to that either, though, but
Yeah.
Level 13. The T-shirt you're wearing was that your creation?
Kind of. I mean, no, well, I had somebody design this on Fiverr. But then my homie, Zella Rocket
Ah,
from
Wrecking Crew.
LAP. No, well, I guess right, Texas or whatever. Yeah. So yeah, he has he does print. He prints. So he just I had him print out a bunch for me. You know what I mean,
Mhm.
when because he's actually living in Philly now, but so yeah, he did that for me. So that was dope. You know what I mean? And then yeah, so yeah, it's a little something, nothing crazy. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's right at this point. This one right here is a house shirt. I just, you know what I mean? Like I've been in the house. I trained this morning. I've been in this home with the kids all day. So you know what I mean? Like you know, it wasn't really. It's just really the first time it's put out of the drawer. You know what I mean? But whatever.
So how long you been practicing jujitsu?
Back at it. Probably like almost. It's gonna be 2 years in June.
Okay.
Um, I used to train Japanese jiu-jitsu, judo,
Hmm.
like from like 11 or so to like whatever, like when I was young, you know what I mean? Younger. And then boxing 16 because I was from South Philly, you know what I mean? You know how I box. And then they all wanted me to like box professionally and shit. But I didn't want to do that. I mean, I could have, I probably should have, whatever, you know what I mean? Then like I started doing Muay Thai at 18. But so case in point, I mean, cut to the chase is that so I was fucking like 11 and I seen UFC. I was already doing Japanese jiu-jitsu, which is not quite the same as Brazilian jiu-jitsu, obviously. You know what I mean, the
Hmm.
methodology is different. Not the techniques necessarily, but the methodology is different, as in live training as opposed to static training. You know what I mean? So the importance more so with live resistance training as opposed to like kata, you know what I mean? Well, you know, and then judo has both also. More has kata and you know, randori, whatever. So, you know what I mean? So I seen fucking UFC for the first time, Hoist Gracie kicking ass. I was like, this motherfucker, he's doing jujitsu too. I want to do that shit. You know what I mean? And I'm from Philly. It's a city of fighters. You know what I mean? So you know, I already knew so many boxers and shit. Like the one, like just the block itself. So I grew up in a block where Mick Rizzotti, Golden Gloves champion of like the state and shit. Well, obviously, of the state, Golden Gloves. But he was so they owned like a mechanic shop and with a boxing gym on top. So back in the day, he used to let my brother and I like just fucking play WWE in the ring. You know what I mean? And it was a serious boxing gym, but it was just us fucking playing shit. You know what I mean? So that's had a connection with that. But I started around box, but back then, like what 96, 97, cats wasn't like combining. Like it was still like jujitsu versus fucking karate, jujitsu versus fucking whatever. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
like, but in my little ass fucking teenage brain and shit though, I was like thinking like, what the fuck? Like, I have hands better than these jujitsu cats that's up here. And I have better hands and my jujitsu is better than these cats that have hands. You know what I mean? So like, fuck, I want to fight. You know what I mean? Whatever. I was 16. You know what I mean? Well, as I was going, I was getting up in my teens and shit. Then my back went out and shit. I was scheduled to have my first like cage fight. I just sat down for the last time, but I'm back now. You know what I mean? But man, yeah, dude, that's been a wild ass ride. I don't mean. I know it's not like a fucking mixed martial art fucking podcast, but
No, no, that's all right. It's
believe
part
it
of
or
your
not,
life, so we definitely
that's
talk
one of my
about it.
first loves. You know what I mean? So
So
yeah,
it
man. It's gonna
feels
be
good.
yeah, man, dude. I'm so glad to be back, man. Life changing shit, dude. Like, so like any like so man, woman, child, man going through, especially for men going through bullshit. Um, we all out of curse, right? I'm sorry, I'm
Yeah,
cussing like I'm from
yeah, you
South Philly.
can. It's all right.
For children. So listen, so I'm gonna tell you real quick. This is my I'm done. Unless you ask, I'm done with martial arts for the rest of the conversation. But boxing, no particular order, because I'm particular to jiu-jitsu right now. But I've experienced with almost all of them except for wrestling. Boxing, Muay Thai, jiu-jitsu. All right, so there's more than that. Judo, and wrestling, right? First off, the 5 toughest combat sports you could ever be involved in. Wrestling being the most, boxing probably being the second most.
Hmm.
For any child, any man, anybody in general, before you get any kid in any kind of sport, get them in one of them 5 sports. Judo, because the rule set is a little weird and shit. So if you skip out on that, that's whatever. So if we just say jiu-jitsu, boxing, Muay Thai, and wrestling, one of them 4 sports, them things is fucking life changing. Like if we get a kid into soccer, taekwondo, any other bullshit, like one of them 4 things, or as a man, like we're going through some shit, like dude, life changing stuff. I'm sorry, I hijacked the whole thing.
No, that's all right.
So, but like combat sports, it's just life changing. Life changing. It's life changing for man, woman, child.
100% agree.
And people, oh, real quick, I'm sorry, but people sleep on boxing.
I'm not sure why, but
I don't think people sleep on boxing, bro. I think boxing is a fucking legitimate high profile.
No.
You know what I mean?
Not even like that. Not even like that. But it, as in, because the people think that, oh, if you have like jiu-jitsu and like wrestling and Muay Thai, like you're safe. I'm not saying you're not safe.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
But like, dude, well, first off, it's a very tough grit. You need first off, as like, dude, so the reason why I bring up all them combat sports is one, because as a combat sport together and separately, you can handle yourself out in the street, right? But also the work that it makes you have to do is life changing. So like the grit that it creates, karate don't bring it. I'm sorry, kung fu don't bring it. I mean, unless you was in Shaolin, but then those techniques ain't really. Whatever. I don't want to get into that, but
the street stuff. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
You know what I mean? For as in America, that lifestyle change is that's it right there. You know what I mean? But also, yeah. So, but in the cage and shit, people forget, like, dude, like a lot of these cats don't know how to use their hands still. That's what I'm saying about people still in boxing. So, like, boxing is very, 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 very important. You know what I mean? So, like, yeah, it is. I'm sorry, I'm done. I'm on my soapbox. But yeah, so as a sport by itself, yeah, people don't sleep on boxing by itself. But as a combined thing, like, to be a well-rounded fighter, you gotta be use your hands. And Muay Thai is dope. I love Muay Thai, and I guess they're getting better. Listen, so I'm not the best Muay Thai. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so but being able to learn from a boxer from people who know how to box is key.
Fundamental.
Yeah. My father, he did quite a bit of sports, and I seen him for a while do a little bit of boxing as well. So I seen him hitting the speed bag, you know, which is one of those things that when you really attempt it yourself, you understand how you got to get your technique right to be able to master that.
Dude, speed bag is hard as hell.
Mm.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I haven't done it in like probably 20 years, but yeah, no, it's the timing. It's a science. It's an art. You know what I mean? And it's no different. It's no less of a science or art than jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, wrestling. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, but again, as I said, like, it creates. I mean, it's not for everybody, obviously, but for the ones that it is for, it helps bring the grit out, and like, you need that in life, not just in boxing itself, but you need that in life, and it's just hard to explain, but that's just, you know what I mean, like, especially in this world, kids need that shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Men, we need that shit. Women need it too. Don't get me wrong, but for different reasons. Like like women need it probably for actually handling themselves out in the street. Just God forbid.
Right.
Us for men, not even just handling ourselves. We need it for our souls. You
There's
know what I mean?
discipline that comes with that. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, the discipline is also a relationship between the mind body connection. You know what I mean?
That,
It's like
that,
it's healthy to have that discipline on top of like for me personally, like I grew up doing a lot of MMA shit myself. You know what I mean? Like probably the least of which was jujitsu, but I did a lot of stand up shit. I did some wrestling. I actually got kicked off wrestling because I was like fighting motherfuckers in wrestling and shit. You know what I mean? Because I was trying to throw elbows at motherfuckers and shit. You know what I mean? But like
Mhm.
that was just like just because I was like in the streets all the fucking time and like that's like it would just spark that in me. But nah, I think for me too, like physically it was great, but mentally it helped me find clarity and helped me to not walk around with all that all the time. You know what I mean? Because like I could be even to this day, like I find sometimes I can be like a volatile individual. You know what I mean? And you know, some of my people will tell me, like my wife tells me, like you know, my management of my aggression has improved and things like that. But it's something that like even to this day, just going to the gym, going for a run, doing something, it's just as much for my mental clarity and for my mental health than it is for
Mhm.
my physical as well. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
not one without it's like the yin yang. You know what I mean?
Yep.
it's like therapy, but cheaper.
Yeah,
There you go. Yeah. Yep.
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
not to downplay mental health. But I'm just saying.
No, no.
Right. It's definitely there. I'm gonna tell my brief story real quick before we go into some other things. But I took Taekwondo growing up, and meditation was one of the first things that we always did. Now, when I
Yeah,
stopped, I continued to do that, and I learned other ways of doing like focused meditation, like just riding the bus to high school and everything. Pinpoint a certain thing, and then you could zone out but still be aware of your surroundings, stuff like that. And then
yeah.
in my recent years, I started doing a little bit of Tai Chi to mix in with my calisthenics and my stretching and everything. And it's been helpful.
100%, 100%. None of the things that you just mentioned, I would like shun in any way, whether it's Tai Chi, Taekwondo, meditation, breath work, ice baths, like whatever it is, bro, that helps you dial it in.
Yeah.
That all the power to you. You know what I mean? Granted, like what was some of what Will was saying is true. Like I believe that like some of those fundamental things, boxing, Muay Thai, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, as far as from like a MMA perspective, you
Mhm.
want to have strength in those areas if you're going to handle yourself in a combative situation, in a physical altercation. But for your day-to-day life, um, trying to get, and everybody's different, bro. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I go do all kinds of different, workout. Like I go to the gym, one gym for like lifting and doing certain cardio. And I got another place where they got like a bike inside a sauna. They got a row machine inside a sauna,
Wow.
things like that, where I'll go hard. And my wife's
Mhm.
always like, yo, like, fucking, like, why are you going so hard? Like, you could tone it down a little bit and like still have like an effect. And I'm just like, that's just like the gear that I'm at. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to outdo anybody else. I'm in competition with myself alone, but at the same time, it's like that's just how I'm wired. So like not everybody is wired that way, and I understand that. So like if some people, like my pops, real brief history, like my pop side of the family is all hardcore Israeli military cats. You know what I mean? Like don't fuck around like on any level. You know what I mean? But like some of what they do and what they deal with is necessary for that lifestyle and their environment and their cultural aspect of what they deal with on a day-to-day basis. You know what I mean? Dude like Will from South Philly, he's dealing with other other issues and other situations than somebody, you know, in Israel or somebody in, you know, Cali or something like that, a different part of the country or the world. So I would say that whatever works for you, man, whatever works for whoever, just keep on doing that. You know, don't be afraid to branch out, but it's important to pay respect to what works. You know.
Absolutely. Yeah. I recently started reading up on grappling techniques, around the hands and the wrists, which is it's amazing what you can do to someone just simply with those areas.
100%.
Definitely. Which is funny. Not like jujitsu cats, like kind of like I don't know, shunned it, but it always existed. Obviously, you know what I mean.
Mhm.
But kind of like tournaments, like you really can't do like they call it small joint manipulation. So
Yeah.
like you can't do anything with the fingers, obviously, even up to black belt. But like, you can't do wrist locks, obviously, up until like purple or brown, or whatever. But
Mhm.
for so long, it's like it wasn't like the thing to do. You know what I mean? But like, dude, like wrist locks, man, serious. Whether it's standing or the ground, like
Yep.
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, Aikido took it to a level where it don't whatever what makes them happy, fine. You know what I mean? But like the basics, like the base level of that shit. I mean, dude, that shit works. I mean, on the top of that, Aikido comes from Japanese jiu-jitsu regardless. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
like they they took the parts of jiu-jitsu they liked. Ushiba, I can't pronounce his name probably, but he took the parts that he liked that worked for him, and Aikido developed their own direction. That's whatever. But like, so I mean, whatever. But there is a base of that definitely works. Like in live rolling, like there's shit that works. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And dude, but and for so long, Brazilians, Americans, whatever, just pretended it didn't exist. You know what I mean? But now Cats is catching up to it. Now Cats is like looking back and like, wow, like some of this shit, like really really works. You know what I mean? And I mean, you know, jiu-jitsu today and fucking just stand up in general with judo and being able to take downs, like if it's coming full circle. You know what I mean? It's coming full circle. Like grappling's becoming more well-rounded now. While like we understood that 85 or 90, whatever the fuck they used to say, percent of fights end up on the ground, which is true,
Mhm.
but they all start standing up. You know what I mean? So, but the wrist locks, people understand that wrist lock work. Like cats wrist locking, like purple belts are wrist locking cats all the time now. You know what I mean? Um, One of my big homies over at the academy is wrist locking cats all the time. Because my judo background, my Japanese jiu-jitsu background, like I'm like very focused on like takedowns and throws. You know what I mean? Obviously. Um, so like I hope I'm helping cats. I'm bringing at least for my small community, helping focus on that because again, it's like it's going full circle, man. Like how can I say it? I don't want to say cats got full of themselves, but what jiu-jitsu was doing works and it worked. But there's more to jiu-jitsu than what we were doing. And it's more to grappling than what we're doing. So it's like you still ignored like a whole bunch of the body. Like Cass wasn't doing leg locks until like recently, you know what I mean? Like so it's the leg lock meta is caught up and now they're ridiculous leg locks and I'm still trying to catch up to that part.
Okay.
But like wrist locks, dude, legitimate. And now again, now you see cats if you watch like pay-per-views and shit like Not so much MMA, but the grappling aspect. Cats is doing foot sweeps from standing up and shit like that. Judo foot sweep. So it's finally coming full circle, man, and they're finally understanding like, while jujitsu, what they thought they had was really dope, there's more to jujitsu than what they received or they thought they received. And then this, you know what I mean? So like, it's wrist locks, dude. It's awesome, dude. Wrist locks awesome. I assume finger locks are awesome too. I don't mess with them too often, but yeah, man. I don't mean to you know, hijack in, but wrist locks,
Yeah, that's all right.
wrist locks are definitely dope.
You definitely educating people that are tuning in or will be listening in the future. Now, Matt, tell us about you growing up. You were originally from California and then moved to Hawaii.
Yeah, man. So born in Cali, moved to Hawaii when I was pretty young, and that's definitely the place where I mean I experienced a lot of adversity, growing up as many of us have. But man, Hawaii is a real, speak to keep with the top. Like Hawaii is a real combative place. You know what I mean? Like when I was growing up, like my stepbrother was BJ Penn's sparring partner. You know
That's
what I mean?
dope. You
And
know, jiu-jitsu's dope out there too, man.
oh man, a hell of
Yeah.
amount of people out there. Like my brother actually, he's like my adopted brother. Um, but growing up, we would do all of it. You know what I mean? We everything from sparring, boxing, jujitsu, whatever, to like to kempo, to kendo, like you know what I mean? Like boken, wooden swords and shit. Because that's it. Like he's from a traditional um, family, and we would, I've always been very enthusiastic about samurai culture myself, and inspired by the whole code of Bushido and things like that. Um, but yeah, I grew up. I was born in Cali, moved to Hawaii. My folks split up when I was real young. My pops moved back out to LA and Orange County more so, and we kind of I just went back and forth more or less, like wherever I was getting in less trouble, and kind of, most of the time I was with my mom. Honestly, like real transparency. My I remember it more of like grades. You know what I mean? Like I was in like second or third grade when my folks split up, and we didn't see my pops for a long ass time. You know what I mean? I think it was from like third grade until like eighth grade. Finally kind of reconnected, and he was like, "Yo, y'all want to come visit?" Whoop de whoop. We went out to Cali and visited for a while, and we were like, "Yo," like he was like, "Y'all can stay if you want." We ended up staying for a while, but I like instantly fell into like some bad habits, and running the streets and getting into stupid shit, and just being just being a young fucking man learning. And ultimately, there was some static between mom and him, and we went back to like visit my mom again, and then my siblings were basically like, yo, like we don't want to go back and live with dad, we want to stay here. And so went back to stay with mom. And yeah, just between Hawaii and Cali, both of those places are where I call home. You know what I mean? I got people both places. All of my family, like my immediate family, still technically lives in Hawaii.
Mhm.
I'm actually living in Wichita, Kansas right now. I'm the only one in my family that's not out there. But yeah, man, just inspired by a lot of these things at a young age, hip hop, music, combat shit, samurai culture, all that stuff. But that all came from an age where I was like growing up around a lot of scrappers, we called it in Hawaii. You know what I mean? Everybody
Right.
was fucking fighting everybody. That's just like how you got to rep. That's just how you like. I mean, you couldn't go to school or anywhere really without shit popping off. You know, they're hot blooded, scrappy motherfuckers out there, and I love it to death. You know, I mean that's just in our nature. So you know, much love to Hawaii, much love to Cali. You know, I'll hold it down regardless either way. But yeah, man, that's in a nutshell without going on a tangent about it. You know.
It's all good. It's all good. Um, what was your solo debut? Because I know the group that you in dropped the Invasion in 2009, but then
Yeah.
after that, what was your official?
Official was Asylum Artistry. Um,
Okay.
there's a couple little projects. Actually, it's funny because I just found this shit the other day. Like this shit right here is something that came like it ain't even out. So it's like I came across it the other day. My brother actually was like, "Yo, guess what I found?" And that's like 17, 18 tracks from like damn near 20 years ago. You know what I mean? All solo shit. Just like back before I knew how many bars to write for a verse, how many fucking bars were in a hook, how like anything about like post production, mixing, mastering, like any of that shit. It was just like all raw. Give me a beat, I'm a murderer. I was freestyling every day. I was battling anybody and everybody. I was like, I wanted to just take heads off and just spit all the time. You know what I mean? That's like that's the only thing at the time in my life that gave me fulfillment, gave me satisfaction, other than martial arts and shit like that from a young
Mhm.
age. You know what I mean? But Asylum Artistry was my first solo album that dropped in damn 14 years ago now,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
it's got like architects like Sadat X on it. It's got
Yeah. He has some
Cannabis
dope
on
features
it.
on it. Yep.
It's got yeah. So like that was an album, and that was Guerrilla War Tactics was the group that I was in. And we did some shit with like Jice from the Arsonist, the Planet from AOTP
Planetary.
Outer
Yep.
Space,
Yep. Gore-Tex.
Gore-Tex from
Mm-hmm.
Nonfiction, shit like that. Um, we did a lot of dope shit on that record, and to this day, I still feel like it holds weight in today's arena. But
Definitely does. Yep.
Asylum Artistry is really kind of what put me on, and it was all just like a real consistent solo like focused grind. Like I said, that's all I wanted was to just to make something out of myself, and that was the way that I was always wanted to do it. You know what I mean? And I did some song like at that time doing a song with Cannabis, hearing being able to chop it up with him and hear the things that he had to say about my lyricism was something that like I could only dream of. You know what I mean? Like obviously that's like what I would work for and that's what I would hope for, but to actually hear some of the things that he said or some of the things that these cats said or say changed my life. You know what I mean? And that's really the album that put me on the map and
Mm-hmm.
put me literally on the map. Like it was. I remember I did the first couple of videos for that record, and it was I had a homeboy with a camera, and he was just starting to fuck around and shoot shit, and I was like, "Yo, bro, like let's fucking make a video," like post it on YouTube, put it up on YouTube, put it on Facebook, and I remember posting it a couple weeks and like starting to get a little pub, and then out of nowhere, like some dude hit me up, and at the time I was doing like local shows and shit like that. You know what I mean? I was living in Hawaii, so I wasn't doing a whole lot. Like actually, me and my fucking crew kind of like pioneered hip hop in the state of Hawaii. I would actually like go to war for that statement. You know what I mean? It's a known fact. And before we started putting it down and spreading it around, it wasn't really out there like that at all. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But So I remember getting messaged about a show in Barcelona, and I was like so naive that like I thought they looked at my Facebook and they saw my face and thought maybe I was like Spanish. I was from Spain, and they thought that like I lived there or something. You know what I mean? Because I was like I always aspired to do dope shit like that, but I never really like expected it to happen that quick. And all of a sudden, I'm doing my first European tour, headlining. No
Nice.
hype man, no fucking, packing my own merch, setting up my own merch table, doing everything. Um, and was, like 3 or 4 different cities in Spain, France, East London with a group that was called Rhyme Asylum that was heavy back in the day from out there. And yeah, bro, Asylum Artistry is the album that provided all of that for me. You know what I mean?
Dope, dope.
Yeah.
Now we can't uh talk about this album without talking about that bonus track, Heat, Hateful, Egotistical, Aggressive Tyrants. That track
Yeah.
is dope, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that track it is as it says in the title, you know what I mean? I dealt with a lot of aggression, a lot of brutality, a lot of, you know, profiling, a lot of shit where I always had kind of a foul relationship when it came to the police, you know what I mean? And I had to do what I had to do to make ends meet. I had a younger brother and sister. You know, I don't want to get too into my personal shit.
Mhm.
Without, I don't want to air out my family business too much. But when we were younger, pops wasn't around. Mom's was trying her best. Me and my older brother was out running the streets. We had to do what we had to do, and I was constantly getting fucked with and harassed. And I've seen it across the board the way that people to this day, even how like some of this conversation started with like the whole uh the way that the country, the government, the way that things are, man, it's practically martial law right now. You know what I mean? And the way that like a cop can just like smoke you and just fucking not have to answer for it. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like we've been seeing it over like you know just I can name names of uh of people who passed at the hands of police brutality, things like that. I've seen a lot of it. I've experienced it, um, and just outlandish, unnecessary aggression. You know what I mean? So I feel like the cops was like hateful, egotistical, aggressive tyrants. As it that's how I view them. You know what I mean? And granted, there's some good ones out there, and I give them their respect. You know what I mean? If it's
Yeah.
mutual, but yeah, man, a lot of people don't really even know about that track. I'm actually surprised you brought that up. So yeah,
Mm-hmm. So,
Dope, dope. I want to talk about one more thing before we get into Mad Levels. FU had a vinyl release party not too long ago that I went to, and I brought my 2 copies of
hell,
Locktoberfest.
hell yeah.
yeah.
Tell us how
I
you
went
linked
to
up with
check
him.
out. That's dope. That's real dope.
FU's the homie, man. FU when I was on tour, he showed out, bro. He came out to the NY shows and shit like that, and he showed love. And we've been cool ever since. Actually, we're supposed to have something in the works. It was technically supposed to be a joint on the Mad Levels album with F, but it was a mix up in the we thought we thought that a beat was available, but level 13 somebody had already spoken for it,
Okay.
and it kind of just like fell through the cracks like that,
It would have been dope though.
Dope, dope.
100%. F is a real one, man. Shouts out to FU. That's a good
Definitely.
dude, and shouts out to Broken Homes, Big Gems, A1, all of those cats, bro.
Yep.
So
Dope.
Spoiler alert, I may or may not have something in the works with Spit Gems right now, but
Uh-oh.
I ain't saying nothing official or not, you know what I mean? So
That'll be
that's
fire.
what it is, man. Yeah.
Man. Mad Levels dropped in November. Before we talk about the music, let's talk about the split image cover of the two of you. Whose idea was that? And tell us how that reflects of the project.
Shit, I don't, do you remember exactly what the story
No,
was?
that was you, bro. I remember we were talking a little bit, and we were just talking about kind of like I think the past and shit somehow or another. Some shit came up about like Street Fighter. I don't know, and you was like, "Yo, I got a homie that does dope illustrations. He can do like some ill shit." And I was like, "Yo, let the man work. Let's see what he can do." And he reached out to his boy and came back, and homeboy came up with that, and we were both like, "Yep, yeah, that's the one right there." So like the whole imagery, the whole artwork of it. If I'm correct me if I'm speaking out of place on this shit, but I mean like that was a straight Street Fighter vibe. You know what I mean? Like the whole shit was supposed. Even the font with the way Mad
Oh, for
Levels is
sure.
written,
Yeah.
straight. Yeah. We was like, yo. So that shit came out fucking fire.
Definitely. Yeah, I know. So I remember the font. The font we simply looked for a Street Fighter. One of the Street Fighter game fonts. Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
so my homie Will from high school, Will Jones, he came up with the fucking artwork. I still didn't remember exactly if he came up with the actual split face thing or what, but either way, the shit came out fucking crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had done a fucking while ago too. So
Yeah. No, what's crazy too about the album is like we had the artwork put together. We had planned on doing the project, and then shit kind of like both of our lives started taking place. Things started happening, and it kind of just like got put on the back burner. And then we both, I think, if I'm speaking facts, which I try to always do, I think that we both were kind of like he was doing his thing, I was doing my thing. And if I'm not mistaken, like one day I was like, you know what, man? Like I was working on shit, and I was like, you know what? I need to hit up level 13 and see if he's still down to run this fucking project with me. We got the artwork for it. We got the whole fucking motivation for it back then. I was like, I felt inclined to see if I could like spark something again. So I hit him up. I was like, yo, bro, like, and it was like clockwork. I was like, yo, bro, you still down to run this fucking album with me? And he was like, yeah. Like, and it was like simple as that. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, you down to do this shit? You down to get to work? He's like, bro, let's do it. And we just got it fucking cracking. And yeah, I think the album came out real dope, man. I think we faced a couple of hurdles, here and there. Just like I said, life comes at you, and it's you know take it from a Philly cat like on in the Rocky movies and shit. He's talking about life. I don't know where we can come. There you go. But
There you go.
I don't know what happened.
life is always gonna hit you, so
Mhm.
you got to keep moving forward, like Rock said. So
Oh,
Definitely. When initially did you first start working on the project?
man, I think the artwork and the concept came about. I want to say like fuck 2020ish or some shit, 2021 maybe. It was a while back,
I think
and
probably 2020, probably as you said.
yeah, it was a minute ago, and then like I said, it kind of just kind of went to
Yeah,
the wayside for a while. It didn't happen, and then like I said, something just sparked in me to be like, yo, man, like reach out to that man and see if he's still down to work. And
Got
but yeah, like everything that you hear on that album, thing you see, like that penmanship video I put together, stuff like that. I don't know if you got a chance to peep it, but like everything
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
everything is just came about in a time that both of us are facing a lot of adversity and just going through personal shit. But everything that you hear and see on that album was basically, other than the artwork, was constructed in the year of 2023. You know what I mean? Like
Definitely.
we did all that shit this past year, and yeah, man.
Because we had joints picked out, but it's just at
Yeah,
that
yeah,
time it just wasn't it. You know what I mean? It just wasn't working.
yeah, yeah.
So Matt just picked out all new joints and just fucking all worked out. You know what I mean? It was dope.
Yeah.
It worked out. So I'd say it was like a long ass time in the making, but at the same time we really just, it's not from all, the actual music we did, as he said, like 2023. It was like done quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The spark was there, and he just kept rolling. That's it. Like he said, oh, this, that beat. Oh, here we go. Let's do it. And then he just fucking went. He ran with it. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it worked. It worked.
Yeah, Level 13. You were definitely busy in 2020.
Yeah, 2020. Yeah, I pushed
J Royale. I think you did something with Hus Kingpin and Smooth.
Yeah, well, funny thing is that joint. I feel so bad. Fuck. That was actually on another project prior to that. I feel embarrassed. Give me a second.
Oh.
So, Hus Kingpin and Smooth was featured on it. But then Hus and Smooth picked it up. But one of the homies put the joint out. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm so sorry. I'm gonna fucking feel like a jerk off right now. But he's featured on the Hus and Smooth version, but it was actually his song.
It was actually okay. You talking about June Life?
Yes, June Life. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, bro. Damn. Yes, June Life. It was originally June Life's song. It was on Moose Wings. I think it was Moose Wings, the name of the album. Which was like prior to that, like about a year or so, and then just worked. And then, as I said, Hus and Smooth was actually featured on there, and then it just went from there. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was a real dope situation. You know what I mean? Because they went from featuring on it to it going on fucking their album, which is dope. You know what I mean? I can't. Yeah. But yeah, so it was June Life's joint. Thank you, bro.
Let's give the people a little glimpse of the visuals for Penmanship video.
Oh, nice.
My brother, you got a minute? I wanna holler at you real quick. Yeah. Look. I refuse to step aside. I'm out here in broad day. Only my weapon hides. My reckless pride causes stress inside. Every second in time that pressure rises until it's pressurized. Insightful views and an aggressive vibe. Ignite the fuse inside my chest. I fight for truth until my death arrives. Lately I feel like I'm the best alive. But likes and views that make me question why. These hiking boots on the path of righteous proof until I get my stride. I'm on the road to glory, a soldier's story, no semper fi. When the reaper gets to ride, I won't testify. That water you bought ain't the only way you should get to shine. This is more than just finessing rhymes. I ain't religious, but I get in the booth and I confess in mine. Putting the plan in motion like your man ain't spoken when the law pressed. It's hard, yes, but both just took some extra time. This life's quality is tainted. I'm jaded. I try explaining through my penmanship. Picture Picasso never painting. Da Vinci ain't invented shit. Would we even remember him? My poison is poisonous. Fucking necros is venomous. Took rap for granted. You get sentenced for your sentences. I'm hip-hop Captain Planet. I represent the elements. Higher intelligence. No prior embellishment. All this work you put in, but you all stay hot and BF Goodrich for better broken. Tired all day driving. You all gangsters. Should have all been made guys. But how you supposed to find your footing when you always sliding. Don't nobody believe you, homie. In the field, the real can see you, homie. And it's real in the field, it's better leave you, homie. Get fucked for being big pussies and thinking you Tonys. Stop trying to find my equal, homie. Stop.
Penmanship. And you said you put that all together yourself, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of orchestrated it. I had a cat, I threw him a little bread. He whipped that up real quick. But
Mhm.
generally, I prefer to go about the video making process like a little bit different. But that was just like some footage that I had for that song already. You know what I mean? And took some other imagery that he felt kind of accentuated the vibe, and we just threw it all together, and there you have it. You know what I mean?
Dope.
But in comparison to like other videos and things I've done, like we didn't necessarily go and set up a shoot or a day of filming for it in particular. Like I said, it's some stuff that like I had shot some footage for social media purposes and things like that, and I just happened to have it and be talking to this dude, and he was fucking with some AI type of shit, and I wasn't really feeling how it was looking, and I was like, you know what, man, I got some other footage that I can show you and see if you could throw that in there and just make something a little more classic with it, and that's what we came up with,
That's dope.
Hopefully, hopefully everybody's feeling the track, something that try to drop a couple gems on and speak from a perspective of a little bit of how I perceive the game and my penmanship in accordance to that, So
Yep. That's dope. Also on the project you have from Revenge of the Truants, you have Mugs on Drugs on here, and also Word Life.
yeah, man. Mugs on Drugs. Actually, I caught wind of that, man. Shouts out to Mugs on Drugs and Word Life. Both of those dudes are dope artists, solid dudes. Mugs on Drugs. Excuse me. I heard him from actually my brother's album had a feature from him, and I heard him and I was like, yo, this kid is nice, and I really like appreciated his hustle. You know what I mean? A lot of dudes, content wise, like he's one of the cats that's like keeping his foot on the necks and just constantly got a consistent out outpouring of music and content. He's always dropping, it's almost every other day he's dropping like a little clip of something with a 16 or something, and he's just spitting. And I fuck with his style, and I like his sound, and like I said, I appreciate his hustle and everything. But I had heard him on my brother's shit, and my brother was chopping it up with him, and he was like, "Yo, I guess one word got around. They was talking to each other. I ended up reaching out to Muggs on Drugs, and I was like, "Yo, man, like I heard you on my brother's record. Like you dope. Like I'm working on this album." And he was like, I was like, I don't know if you want to get down or what. And he was like, yeah, I heard of you, but I know who you are. He's like, I'd be hyped to get down on your shit. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, word, like that's respect. Cause like, I feel like I know what I'm capable of. I know where I'm at as far as a lyricist in the game, and like the more or less like what I bring to the table. But sometimes I feel like I sell myself short a little bit on my reach and what I've some of my accomplishments, and sometimes things like that remind me that I've been here for a minute putting in work, and that it's resonating. You know what I mean? And sometimes people bring it up, and they hear my name, and the fact that it rings bells in certain areas and some certain levels. That's flattering to say the least. You know what I mean? But when I reached out, he was like, "Bro, like hype. You know what I mean? He's like, fuck yeah, I'm down. Like let's work. And I was like, all right, bet. And then he actually sent me some, and I rocked the verse for something of his. I don't know. I don't believe it came out on any album yet. At least nothing that like is on DSPs or nothing that I've seen. But
Mm.
and then Word Life, if I'm not mistaken, you know, Level 13 was rocking a project with him, and we was like, yo, like I was, because we were trying to get that F thing, that FU feature figured out, and then when we had the confusion with that beat, he was like, yo, why don't we fucking, he's like, why not holler at Word Life and see if he's down to rock? And I was like, all right, bet. And he showed me some of his shit, and I was like, yeah, dude, this dude fucking spitting. He's hella nice with it, and it just kind of came together like that, and since then, you know, Word Life reached out and is like, yo, man, like I'm definitely gonna have something for you to rock for my
Let's go.
shit too.
Let's do
So
it.
like,
Right there.
yeah, he's nice, but I think they both contributed something real nice to the album, and you know, different flavors, but all like cohesive in a dope way. You know what I
Right.
mean? And Level 13 laid the foundation for all of us to fucking do our thing in a real dope way.
Thank you, sir.
Definitely. Uh, level 13, if you don't mind me asking, what's your production software or equipment of taste?
Right now, I'm using Logic Pro and then Machine by Native Instruments. But since they switched over to Mac, not they added their software to Mac. I'm thinking about switching over to FL Studio. Or at least trying it out. You know what I mean? 'Cause it's not that expensive. But for now, yeah, Logic and Machine.
Okay. Dope. Um, Matt, you have a track that you produce, the outro.
Oh wow.
Um, that was a dope, vibe that you did that with. I'm trying to remember the name of the track again. I probably gotta look it up, but I know it was the last track on one of your projects. It might have been on Son of Samson, if I remember correctly.
You know, I don't think I produced something that recent. To be honest, it might have been Asylum Artistry or Righteous Fury or something. Um, but
Yeah,
yeah, I mean,
I gotta look it up.
I haven't produced in a minute, but yeah, no, I feel like I'm in a Nardwar interview right now, bro. You pulling some some cards out the deck right now I appreciate it though, because I know that you take your craft serious and that you're giving the best content to your viewers. You know what I mean? And I think that's real dope that you bring that up, and like that other hidden track, the Heat track. I mean, like that kind of shit gets me excited as an interviewee. You know what I mean? Like I want to know that the work I'm doing is being recognized and that
Right,
people, you know
right.
what I mean? Because some like
Mhm.
in this day and age, I heard something the other day that something like 120,000 new songs drop on a daily basis. Like tomorrow, 120,000 more songs are going to be floating around the internet. And then
Yeah,
on
it's
Friday,
crazy.
120,000 more. You know what I mean? And it's like everybody and their fucking mom is making music
Hmm.
now, and it's real and literally, like quite literally, like everybody mama's fucking trying to make fucking hip hop music now, and it's like, what the fuck is the world coming to, bro? We got grandmas out here doing
I was
stupid
gonna
shit,
say,
like, and like motherfuckers that can't have no business in a but anywhere near a microphone, let alone this culture and this that I thing that I love so fucking much. Um, it's real for me personally, and I can only speak of my own personal experience and my own input. But for me, it's easy to get caught up sometimes in the whole chaos of all that information that I just shared with you, and feel a little bit dissuaded, you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to really do something here. I'm trying to make classic art and express
Right.
myself in a way that is real and is connected to me and to my fan base and to my listeners, but and not to shit on anybody, but most importantly to me, this is my expression. This is what I do, and it has to make sense to me first and foremost. It has to be real for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like in doing that, I think that this day and age, like all of us, I'm sure can concur that like growing up, at least as an MC, I don't know about if it's I would imagine it's the same as a producer or a DJ or whatever. But if you was to go to a showcase and you doing your set and you scratching or doing whatever, or you playing records and you mixing shit, and somebody like, yo, you sound like you biting fucking Cool Herc, or your shit sound just like fucking so and so. You know what it's like in our coming of age in our artistry, sounding like somebody else was a fucking big no. You know what I mean? You was getting a Shark Award. You know, he was a biter, and he was
Hmm.
like, bro, man, don't fucking like that's corny, bro. You sound just like fucking RZA when you spit, bro. Oh, you sound just like fucking your beats sound exactly like so Marco Polo or whoever the fuck. You know what I mean? Somebody want to always compare you to somebody else, but
Yeah.
now like originality was clutch, and I feel like now originality is like looked down on. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Now,
People like
fucking now
now
bring
if
that.
you don't sound like everybody else, and if you don't say nonsense like everybody else, then that's now like getting you fucking passed
Sure,
over. You know what I mean?
sure.
So we're in a
Mm.
weird transitional stage in this music industry, in this game, that like I said, it's real easy to feel lost in the shuffle of all that. And for somebody like me who's seen an extreme amount of success from hip hop, man, coming from where I come from what I've grew up enduring, coming from shit, man, I had fucking nothing, you know what I mean? And going to just being like, yo, like this is the only thing other than like the street shit that like I really fucking have, bro. That the only thing that I'm proud of. This is all I got, man. Without it, like I don't even need to be here. You know what I mean? Um, and seeing it come to a place where like I never would have went to Spain, Germany, Italy, Poland, fucking Canada, all these like the UK, Ireland, like all these places, like multiple times, headlining, doing festivals, doing like I remember growing up being like, I just like what music meant to me. I wanted my music to mean to somebody else. Like somebody could play my
Yeah.
shit and be like, damn, like hey, here I was thinking I was the only one that felt like this. Like it's hella cool to fucking hear somebody else that can relate, you know what I mean, or that they can relate to. So, um, but yeah, it's hard to get. I know I went on a little bit of a fucking rant there, but it's difficult. I think this day and age to feel like you're you're making headway sometimes. You know what I mean? Because I feel like also like 2010, I dropped Asylum Artistry, and I rode that album for like 4 years, bro. I dropped Righteous Fury in 2014, and I toured a hell of amount of countries and states and shows and sold merch and verses and features for like 3 4 years off one record. You know what I mean? And then I dropped
Mm.
another one and did it again. And then now it's like in 2013, I dropped two fucking albums. I dropped an album in 2000, or sorry, 2023. 2022, I dropped an album. 2021, I dropped an album. I mean, I dropped four albums in the last 2 3 years, and actually, like all bullshit aside, I'm sitting on a whole other record right now. I got 12 new songs, that I'm basically it's in the process of being mastered. New features, new everything. But it's like my point is you have to have this level of consistency now in the game where it feels like you gotta drop three, like even Nas himself, bro, one of the goats. Nas is dropping three fucking albums a year. Like that shit is
Mhm.
crazy to me. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So like that, if that alone doesn't show you where the game is at right now, like I don't even know. Well, I can't call it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
And
I
it's
know I kind of
crazy
went a
because sometimes now that we have new releases on Fridays, I usually check to see what comes out, and sometimes the average amount of releases, albums, and EPs could be anywhere from like 70 to over 100 releases just in those 2 days. I
yeah,
mean, it's crazy. And,
yeah,
a lot of people say, well, how do I know what's good? And I'm one of those people that literally tries to go and listen to most of it, and I will share what I think, others might enjoy. But
yeah.
there's still a lot of garbage coming out at the same time.
Yeah, no, I mean, for what it's worth, thank you for having, showcasing our project, man,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
like we've been talking about, like that's just the facts, bro. Like any given Friday, you getting 75, 100 new albums dropping, and like I'm not even gonna front, bro. Like, of course, I feel like I'll take the Pepsi challenge with anybody any day of the week. Like, hey, bro, like that motherfucker ain't nicer than me. That dude ain't nicer than me. You know what I mean? I feel like that in my heart, in my chest, and I breathe that into every fucking bar I write and I spit. But at the same time, like I got to give credit where credit is due, man. We're in an age right now. There's a lot of talented artists, a lot of talented
Hmm.
producers, a lot of talented MCs, DJs, artists in any capacity, and just being considered amongst those cats is a privilege these days, man, because it's real easy, like I was just saying, to just be overlooked and just like, yo, man, like that dude's washed up, or them dudes, like that dude had his little 5 minutes, you know what I mean? But
Yeah, just that quick.
I I, I do try to consistently improve and keep my pen sharp and keep it thorough, you know what I mean? So the fact that we even here doing this interview, that you're taking your time out to do this, you know what I mean, to put us on, man, I appreciate that, like for real,
True.
and
Definitely.
that's why I never act like, I mean, I do interviews here and there, I've done a lot of shit, and I never in my life felt like too big or too fucking on my own dick for anybody or anything. Like Grant, like I said, I know what I put in when I grab that pen, and when it's time to express myself and put myself out there. Like I know what I'm bringing to it, but at the same time, like I value the artistry in and of itself, but that it's being received well is always like a blessing also, you know what I mean? So anybody that's that's hearing what I'm saying and feeling what I'm saying, and the soundscape that level 13 is letting me bless it on,
Hmm.
and we creating this artwork together, you know what I mean? um I'm just happy to be a part of it, man. Like I feel like hip hop really was my father figure. A lot of the lessons I learned in life, my pops wasn't around. I had to learn from Tupac. I had to learn shit from Biggie. I had to learn shit from Prodigy. I had to learn shit from G Rap and fucking you name it, Ill Bill, whoever, bro. And now I got songs with Ill Bill. I got songs with Cannabis. I got songs with fucking, you know what I mean? I wish I had a song with fucking Tupac, but you know what I'm saying? It's like that is its own difficulty. But I mean, it's a wild, crazy, beautiful, chaotic fucking thing that we're a part of. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
I'm just honored to be a part of it.
definitely. And I appreciate you bringing your style to the music, and always having a message with it as well. You've shown the lyrical skill, you've shown the content, you've shown part of your upbringing with it, and also the the political aspect of what we were talking about earlier. I mean, there's certain artists that that specifically talk about that, and they kind of haven't been consistent. But the way the world is, there's always going to be issues like this that can be spoken of. And
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing it, and it comes in a way that it catches your ear, makes you want to learn a little bit more, and that's what I appreciate.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that as well. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, the first collaboration I ever did with Level 13, he produced a song on my Right or Wrong album called Guns and Ammo. And that's like a real politically charged, that's saying some shit right there, because it's like a metaphor for not only in America, we're gun crazy. You know what I mean? We love guns out here. We love the fucking violence. We love all that shit. People, whether it's movies, media, whatever, magazines, comic books, all that shit. Like we grew up with that shit. That's a part of it, But in that song, I tried to be like, yo, like there's obviously like the literal guns and ammo. I got a gun fucking 2 feet away from me right here. You know what I mean? But it's like the truth of it was like my metaphor for that track was like the system is almost like a gun. You know what I mean? The system that because they weaponize it, they weaponize us, they weaponize your mind, and we, the kids, the young men that are the future of our country and of this world, we are the ammunition for that. We become the ammo. You know what I mean? You could take a young man and mold his mind into a devout follower that's tunnel vision. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you look at, I'm not trying to get too into it, but you look at a lot of what's going on in Gaza right now. You know what I mean? I saw a documentary about this dude goes out there. I'm gonna keep it real brief, but he goes out there, this Englishman, and he takes a bunch of Palestinian kids and a bunch of Israeli kids, and they don't know that he's gonna link them up. You know what I mean? And he interviews their parents and the kids first on the Palestinian side, and he's like, "Yo, like in a nutshell, he's like, what do you think about Jews and Israelis?" And it was like, "Yo, fuck them, motherfucker! Like, fuck them." He's like, "Oh, like if I saw a Jew right now, I'll fucking smoke him." You know what I mean? He's like, "Oh, damn!" Like, all right. He's like, ask the Jewish kid, "Hey, like, what do you think about Palestinians?" Same shit. You know what I mean? Like, fuck them, like that. And so, like, that's what I'm talking about. Is like these kids, whether they be from their ancestors, their forefathers, their peers, whatever. Like, it's real easy for us, even to, especially with social media, to be influenced in a way that's subconscious. Not only subconscious, but like conscious as well, like simultaneously. You know what I mean? But like, so he brings these kids together, and at first, they start recognizing like, yo, that's a fucking Palestinian, oh, that's a Jewish kid, and they kind of like, he brings them out to this like soccer field, you know what I mean? And he's like, yo, I just want y'all to like meet each other and see like you never really met Palestinian kids and whoop de whoop vice versa, and they're hating, they're mad at each other, whatever, they don't want to fucking. And then he just like throws a soccer ball out there, you know what I mean? And like one of them kind of starts kicking it around, and like they, before long they're passing the ball. Before long, a little game breaks out. Next thing you know, it's nothing but smile from ear to ear. These kids are running around playing like they don't give a fuck about what his dad said, what my dad said, my grandpa's ways and shit. Like we're here right now, we're playing with this soccer ball, having a good time, and by the end of the interaction, he's like, all right, like everybody, we got to go. Everybody, and like they're all in tears. You know what I mean? And he's like, yo, like, why are you crying? He's like, yo, because that Palestinian kid is like my best friend now. And now I know I'm not going to get to see him again after today. You know what I mean? Because of this bullshit system, because of the fucking way that it's divide and conquer. You know what I mean? It always has been. It's
That's
mathematics. Heavy. That's why my name is Matt Maddox. It's the fucking mathematics of everything. You know what I mean? And it's like the mathematics is actually supposed to be mathematics, but in Hawaii, they speak. I don't know if either of y'all been to Hawaii, but they speak. It's like a Hawaiian kind of ebonics. It's called pidgin, where
Really?
like
Mhm.
it sounds
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
So they'd be like, oh, what is, like, if a Hawaiian guy would be like, yo, what is Matt? Like if you just say what is mathematics, they would sound like what is mathematics, because the way that their tongue rolls the words off. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And so that name just stuck, and I was like, yo, like Most Def got the song called Mathematics. He's breaking it down. You know what I mean? Just there's a lot of the universal language, the unspoken language of the universe is mathematics. If you really break it down, it's all numbers. It's all frequencies. It's all, like you can really break it all down to that. But like the point is, and it comes back. It's a full circle, a numbers game with this music shit. You know what I mean? It's a numbers game of
True.
population control. Any way you want to weigh it, it comes down to that. You know what I mean? But the first song that we did, that Guns and Ammo shit, was really to bring attention to how, some of the lyrics from it are talking about, you could take a young man, you give him, you look at a young boy, you give him what, like GI Joes and shit. You give him fucking action figures, and like first thing we do is we take they're fighting. Always, you know what I mean? Like this guy's fighting this guy, and it's embedded in us from, you know before America, before, you know what I mean, like thousands of years. But like that Guns and Ammo song was real politically charged because it was like a different perspective on like the actual guns and ammo and what that means and how that's affected us, but also our mindset and our programming of how we can be weaponized. And look at it, like we look for anything to fight over, bro. Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, fucking socialist, Buddhist, Christian, Jew, Muslim, like whatever, bro. My side is better than your side, and I'm gonna fucking kill you to prove it. Like that, at the end of the day, it's not necessary. You know what I mean? And I was just
Mhm.
trying to show the manipulation of the powers that be, and kind of the social construct that can create, that we can become victims of unbeknownst to ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's perfect. Yep, spot on. Because and the problem is, as much as we fight to break that chain, I mean, it still continues on. We gotta keep fighting the fight, though.
Yeah. You know, I got a tattoo on one of my arms. It's a Bob Marley lyric from Redemption song, where he says, emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I'm just here to try to give you the pieces that I'm capable of. And I struggle to find the words myself. I'm learning it my damn self simultaneously, but
Mhm.
we're responsible for our own freedom, our own liberation. You know what I mean? So ultimately, I can drop a gem on you, and hopefully you can take that and polish it up and make, yo, man, like now I can see clearly like what I got here.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And
Well, it takes one person.
yeah, and if
Yeah.
I can, is a real brief thing I would say. I remember a parable I grew up hearing. Dude's walking on a beach, low tide, and there's a million starfish on the beach drying up and dying.
Wow.
And he sees a dude like way up ahead. Guy just like strolling, picks one up and throws it in the water, kind of chucks it, picks up another one. He said, "What the fuck is that guy doing?" You know what I mean? And he like runs up on him. Hey, hey, hey. Guy turns around. He's like, "Yeah," he picks up another throw. He's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Throwing starfish back in the water." He goes, "Why?" He goes, "I mean, they're out here drying up and dying."
Mhm.
He goes, yeah, I mean, but look, he's like, it's fucking everywhere you look is starfish, man. Like, you actually think you're gonna make a difference throwing them in back one by one? And dude picks one up, throws it in the water, looks right at the young man, and goes, made a difference to that one. And I was like, damn, like that shit hit. Like I take that with me to this day. And I'm like, man, if I can, I'm just trying to save a fucking starfish. You know what I mean? Like after all is said and done, if I can make a difference to one, and it can perpetuate the cycle, then I'm trying to leave it better than I found it. You know?
That's how it works. Yep.
Yeah, man.
Definitely, definitely. Wow. How do I follow that?
It's dope though.
I
Yeah.
appreciate it, man.
Level 13. How did you become to be a connoisseur, and why IPAs?
Oh man. Shit. So like basically, I was living out in Minnesota for a little bit, and like ex, I was like there for like a brief amount of time. Well, I was visiting her before that, prior, but she was like into like fucking. She was a fucking alcoholic, probably. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm, yeah. So like we were talking what was like craft beer and shit. Like Blue Moon is not craft beer. Sorry, I thought it was. You know, what I mean? And it may have been. I, it, it sold to like a bigger company, like probably within the last 20, 15 years. You know what I mean? So it kind of makes sense that maybe we thought it was back then, but um, I just started experiencing like the Minnesota craft beer scene.
Okay.
Even though I'm from Philly, but I mean, one of the first craft beer bars I've been to was the Tap Room in South Philly, and I was going there before moving to Minnesota, but I didn't really get into the craft beer scene until I was in Minnesota, and then it just went from there. I mean, I like stouts and stuff. I just like the hoppiness of like IPAs and shit. You know what I mean? Pilsners are cool. You know what I mean? I mean, I do more so pilsners or like a stout if I have like a bourbon or a tequila like on the side. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. I just fell in love with the hops and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I enjoy them too. I'm also a stout and porter drinker as well.
Nice, nice, nice.
Yeah. Me too, man. And like honestly,
I got some for you. Hold on.
IPAs was never my shit, bro. I couldn't really get into IPAs too much. But yo, check this out. I just fucking this bottle I just been drinking out of.
Oh, nice.
I just went to this spot out in Cali when I just got back last night, but that place has some dope shit, man. I fucked with the bottle. It's like a little pony keg, little bottle. You know what I mean?
Wow. Okay.
And I was like, yo, I never seen no shit like that. I was like, yo, I need to take that to the gym and shit with me. You know what I mean? I take that shit to work.
And that was from them.
Yeah.
It's called Lone Wolf.
The brewing company is called Lone Wolf Brewing.
That's
You know what
dope,
I mean?
dude. That's
dope. Yeah.
That logo is crazy.
Yeah, and I fuck with wolves heavy. I got two big ass wolves tatted on my chest and shit. You know what I mean? Like,
the logo is like a dire wolf.
My logo is a motherfucking wolf. Yeah, bro.
Yeah. It's dope.
Hell yeah.
And what you got over?
I was gonna say, if you're interested, I'm from Staten Island, and Inspector Deck released a beer not too long ago.
INS.
Exactly.
So if you want one, I can send one out to you.
Definitely, I appreciate that, man. Thank you, bro.
Oh yeah,
that's really dope, man. It's really dope. I didn't get a chance. Like I know the cats over there, hip hop craft beer show and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because those guys I think from Cali who linked up with, they just been doing a lot of dope shit. Like they got shit with Alcoholics, I think.
All over, yeah. Yeah, the Alcoholics is coming out this month.
Oh, you know. Yeah.
I just did a show with them cats, man.
You know the deal. So yeah, no, those dudes is killing it, man. and of course it's Dex. So I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm more of an East Coast. But
No, the Alcoholics is still bodying
So,
shit, bro. I just did a show with them in nonfiction a couple months ago, man.
that's
Fucking,
crazy.
and they all still killing it. I was like, shit.
Yeah, I saw some of those pictures.
That's
Yeah,
dope.
yeah. No, it was a dope show, man.
It's dope. Dope. Matt, I looked up what I was talking about with the that outro. It was
Yeah.
outro groove off the unreleased Then and Now album.
Oh shit. Yeah. So then and now, that's what I was just fucking showing you with this.
Hmm.
So it might be on Bandcamp or something, and
Yeah,
I
it's on
think that
Bandcamp.
might. It's like the only place, and that's like an old Bandcamp page I had too. So like I don't even know if people know about that shit. You know what I mean? But that's like that whole album. That's fucking. That's wild exclusive shit, bro. Like that's what it is, though, man. I
Wow.
produced a few joints on that. I'm sure. Damn, yeah. That's like, man. That's a fucking old. That's an old school album, bro. I mean, right here, I'm looking at this. This Matt Maddox Then and Now. January 23rd, oh, oh 07, oh 08. So,
Wow.
Hmm.
yeah, man, that's before Guerrilla War Tactics. That's before, you know, Asylum Artistry, Righteous Fury, Right or Wrong, any of that shit. Son of Samson, all that, you know what I mean?
Wow.
Came way before that. There's actually about to drop a bomb on everybody right now. In 2008, me and my brothers released an album. I don't know if you can even find it anywhere. I might be the only way. I might have to reach out to some people, but an album called Rebel Ronin. The crew was called Rebel Ronin, and the album was called Rebel Music. And it was me and my two brothers, and it was around that same time. So, but again, Ronin, like Rebel Ronin, was like the whole samurai shit, you know.
Hmm.
What's that?
Okay. Speaking of your older brother, tell us the whole link up with DITCD for the new album.
Yeah, man. DITCD. Shout out my brother, Law Dog. You know, that's my blood brother. Um, we started this hip hop shit together. You know what I mean? This whole journey together. Uh, I'm proud of him, man. He's doing he's doing that DITCD thing right now, and you know, he's spearheading that whole CD movement again. You know what I mean? Like that shit was kind of like gone and forgotten. Motherfuckers was over CDs, and the fact that he's like, and he was like one of the only cats I knew that like was heavily collected. You know what I mean? And he was really trying to like shed light on that still. You know what I mean? And as a collector, and he was always like, yo, they got that at hard copy. Yo, this so and so got, and like, you know, he basically put together that label, and you know, I've been seeing what guys are doing with vinyl and things like that, and I'm a big fan of vinyl, but at the same time, you know, not for nothing, like a CD is a little bit more practical, it's a little bit more affordable, and it's
Hmm.
just as collectible. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like bringing it back to that platform um, is a beautiful thing. I'm actually sitting here right now. I got the Guerrilla War Tactics. I got the other Guerrilla War Tactics, the second album, The Occupation.
Ah, okay.
I don't know if you heard that or if people
Yeah, I
even
heard
know
that one.
about that, but that's on DITCD. Um, Asylum Artistry. It's a little EP I did called Warhammer with another MC called Majesty. Um, the right or wrong shit. I mean, the list goes on. Genghis Complex 2 that just dropped. Um, I think the DITCD thing is a refreshing, a visit back to, besides cassettes. I mean, kind of like what we all grew up with and what we were all used to. You know what I mean? So like, I support it in any way possible. I try to be exclusive with it. I know this Mad Levels. We got a little thing worked out with them to where he's trying to get it pressed out and some physical shipped out to people with that. And he's building a fan base around his label. He's working with a lot of dope artists right now, including us. He's got half of those albums I just showed you right there available through his label. Actually, this album I just wrapped up is I'm gonna be doing exclusively physical copies. I'm trying to bring it back to like, because not for nothing, I can appreciate and I respect and I fuck with streams, but as an artist, they're robbing us, bro. Like streaming site, like Spotify's getting paid. Like I'm not making shit. You know what I mean? And I'm doing like we did Mad Levels. We did like 10 plus thousand streams in the first 2 weeks we dropped it. You know what I mean? Like it was doing good for some independent, no real marketing, no real promo, nothing, just like motherfuckers knowing what time it is, you know what I mean? And rocking with us. But at the end of the day, I've seen a significant decline in what I would call like supporters and an increase in just kind of like these fly by night listeners. And granted, like I said, if you want to listen to my music, I'm honored. I'm happy to keep making it. I make it ultimately for me, but you enjoy it as well. That's a blessing. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I put a lot into this, man. Like I'm coming out of pocket to make sure that I bring you a professional product. You know what I mean? Whether it's mixing and mastering costs, whether it's the cost of making these videos, whether it's the cost of coming up with artwork and illustrations, whether it's the cost of coming up with social media marketing and producing and promotion, whether it's the cost of making vinyls, whether it's the cost of paying for design work and things like that, whatever, buying equipment, getting software and tools in the studio to give you an album that sounds professional. It doesn't sound like a kid recording it on his iPhone. You know what I mean? Like all of that. This is a business, man. It's a hobby, and it's a, as far as from an artist, this is my art and my expression. But as a businessman, this is also a business that I'm producing, and this is a quality product that I'm bringing. You know what I mean? That I'm providing. And that being said, it takes a professional level of consistency and input and creative input to make that possible. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, like right now, I'm working on trying to get a couple videos for this new album, and my video guys ain't free. Like the mixing, the engineering, like all that ain't free. My dude that mixes and masters all my shit, that ain't free. You know what I mean? I'm working with artists that I respect, that I don't expect for them to work for free. I've done countless features. I made tens of thousands of dollars off features in my career. You know what I mean? I've made more than that off merch, off touring, off whatever, album sales. Like I've done well, you know what I mean? But that being said, there's a certain respect and a certain understanding that like I'm providing something. This is art, and you're not going to go to the Foot Locker and get the new J's for free. You can't stream the fucking sneakers you want. You know what I mean? Like you put your dollars into something that you want, that helps you express, that helps you connect with who you are, who you bring into the table every day. Yeah. If my music is something that helps you do that, it helps you learn, it educates you, helps you in any way, entertains you, whatever it is, I'm asking for like the smallest of contributions possible. I'm not charging you for a sneaker. I'm and respect to people that can do it. I'm not Makami charging you $1,000 for a record. You know what I
At
mean?
least.
I'm like, yo, yeah, at least. I'm like, if you could break bread and give me 15, $20 for a CD, I promise you, you getting crack in the form of a compact disc. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I I'm reciprocating with the quality of what I'm putting out. You know what I mean? And that being said, I'd like to see a return back to more of a mutual appreciation. I'm not going to give you some corny whack shit. Um, what I am giving you is a professional product. I'm giving you professional art. And that being said, I would appreciate a fair and just compensation for that. You know what I mean? And like I said, if you don't want to rock with it, that's within your right to do or not do. You know what I mean? But I feel like I'm making some good music, and if you want to enjoy it with me,
Yeah.
then that's where it's at. You know what I mean?
Yep. Once you give the supporters the proper access, they go out there and they'll go out there and purchase it. And I do my best before I share music to see if a physical is out there, so I can also provide that link for them to go directly to that and not just go
Yeah.
and stream it. Because
No,
as
and
you can
that's
see,
appreciated.
you can see
Yeah,
back there,
yeah,
I'm supporting. I got plenty of CDs over here as well.
yeah. No, and that's real because, and as we can all see it, man. Like, let's look at like the Griselda movement right now. You know what I mean? Like West Side Gun do a hoodie drop. This dude's pushing out 1,000 hoodies and selling out in 24 hours. Like the
Yep.
supporters are there, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like that motherfucker ain't giving nobody no hoodies. He ain't get like maybe his mama, his family, shit. You know what I mean? Understandably, but like he's providing y'all with a quality product. He's providing y'all with music that you were willing to invest in. It gives you some sort of enjoyment. You want to go to McDonald's and eat a fucking Big Mac, you got to pay for that shit. You want to listen to dope ass fucking Mad Levels album, you got to fucking give us a couple dollars for it. You know what I mean? Like technically, the Mad Levels, you can stream that shit for free, and we appreciate y'all rocking with us. But I'm saying, like, from this point forward, I'm thinking of taking it a different direction and being like, yo, man, like, yes, I do expect a very small contribution to keep this alive, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean, I run a business on my own on the side, do my, you know what I mean? And like, I got like, it's all, everybody knows how business works, man. And it's nothing beyond that. It's straight up, it's something for something. You know what I mean? Anywhere you go, you know what I mean? You want to go get a haircut, you want to go get your fucking shit hooked up, whatever it is, man. Like, we all grown ups here. We all trying to make our way, and let's rock with it accordingly. You know.
Right. That's what it is. You in level 13 have a specific skills, and with any if somebody has that skill, you pay them for it.
For real. 100%, man.
Yep. Now, one more thing before we go, and gotta bring him up because Matt, you worked with him for quite some time, and on the beats and seeing, we talking about Nohakai.
Yeah. Nohakai, Nohakai. That's one of my closest friends personally. You know, we grew up together. He's a phenomenally talented artist himself. He's becoming one of, if not, definitely one of my favorite producers. He's responsible for the complete engineering of Mad Levels. He mixed and mastered the whole album. Um, he mixed and mastered and produced the last Genghis Complex 1 and 2. all his beats, all his. Shout out to Noel Kai, big shouts out to them. That's literally like my fam. Like that's quite possibly like my best friend. That's just family. We're just family. That's like he's one of the realest motherfuckers ever, and the dude is a phenomenally talented artist. He'll make a beat with like a legit drum set. He's in there playing digital drums in the studio, and then he'll break out the keys. Or like we did a song on Genghis Complex called "The Past," where I'm like singing on the shit, and there's a video to that, and he's just playing the guitar, and that came like we was in the studio. He broke out the guitar, started hitting a couple licks, or hitting a couple riffs, and I was like, "Yo, bro, like run that back," and it just came organically. But he's got an album that came out 2020, I think, called Mixed Emotions, and I like compelled to tell anybody listening to this to go check that album out, especially if you fuck with like real hip hop and like quality hip hop. He got everybody on that album, including myself, yours truly. But I'm on a song with Ill Bill on there. He got Slain and Right Hook. He got R.A. the Rugged Man. He got Nems. He got Chino XL. He got Casual from Hyro. He got fucking, you know, uh, just the list goes on and on and on, man. And it's just a fucking dope album. He produced the whole thing.
Yep,
And
yep.
yeah, and he's just all around a solid dude. Also, a jujitsu fucking monster. You know what I mean? Straight. I think he's like a purple belt, about to be a brown. I mean, he might have got his brown belt, but he's a fucking animal in every sense of the word, and just like one of the last, to me, like remaining like just solid, straight up and down dudes. You know what I mean? Like I can't even count on one hand how many motherfuckers I know that like match the criteria that this dude has. You know what I mean? And I can't say enough good things about the guy, bro. He's mixing and mastering this new album, The Year of the Ox. I was gonna try to drop it last minute, but then I'm like, I need to do my art at my pace and do it my way, and I felt like I was rushing it, and I'm sitting on 12 joints right now, each one doper than the next. I'm trying some new shit, trying some old shit, just trying to bring a solid record, and he's playing a major part in that, and we're gonna keep it moving. There might even be a Genghis Complex 3 on the horizon. You know what I mean? So
nice.
We're gonna keep it moving, man. Yeah.
There you go, man.
Yes, sir.
Definitely appreciate Matt Maddox, level 13, taking the time to speak on the music, life.
Likewise, man. I appreciate
y'all
giving
little
us
co-host daughter over here.
Yeah. The boss making sure her presence felt,
Exactly, you already know.
Yeah, man. A little cutie.
Thank you.
I missed when mine was that age, bro. Like I said, now she's 13 and she's letting me know, bro.
I'm sure.
She letting me know what time it is.
Man.
Now,
in the beginning, we spoke of the similarities with the being upstanding and on social commentary, but listening to the two of you in the interview, also learning how your upbringing with the martial arts and having to fight for your own is also a similarity that the two of y'all have. So this is one of the aspects of speaking with the artist that I enjoy.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. I definitely, I couldn't agree more. I've learned a lot this interview, and I mean, I haven't emphasized as much, but I would say that the martial arts has been just as fundamental a part of my life. I mean, I got trophies and shit from a little kid entering big ass competitions to like still trying to carry on and keep on. Like I'm actually about to try to join this jujitsu class as soon as possible because
Do it, man.
yeah, I roll around with Nohokai and shit, and he a big fucking strong motherfucker. But I don't like I'm new to the whole jujitsu shit, but I'll fuck with it. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I need to get in there and do that. And I miss combat. I miss it. And I don't need to be out here like fighting in the street and shit. I'd rather be fucking focusing it that way. You know what I mean?
No point not to. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And I'm like, fucking just got done with some legal shit, so I'm not trying to fucking go back to being in trouble. You know, kind of.
I get that. Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
Mad Levels
yeah,
is the project. Definitely go out there and support it. It's out there right now on CD through DITCD. The digital's also on Matt Maddox's Bandcamp. Shout out to Matt Maddox's brother, also MC Till. The two of them running DITCD. And floor's yours, give you shout outs.
Man, just big shout out to everybody involved with Mad Levels, Word Life, Mugs on Drugs. The biggest shout out, obviously, to Level 13. You know, my brother Nahokai, DITCD. Shout out to you. Shout out to the listeners, man. Really, at the end of the day, you know, I love doing this. I've tried to stop doing it. You know what I mean? And sometimes I've gotten burned out, man. Man, fuck rap, fuck fucking these ungrateful ass bitches and shit. You know what I mean? But at the same time, that's all nonsense. You know what I mean? This is too integral a part of who I am and what I rep, what I'm a.
Oh, did we lose you?
Oh.
Yeah, I think we lost him. All right. Level 13, while we try and get them back, give your shout outs, let everyone know where they can reach out to you to get some of those dope beats.
Thank you, sir. Basically, most of my social media is just level_13. My beat stars, I think, is like level_13. But yeah, I mean, you find me on Instagram, Twitter, whatever. You just message me, say what's up. You know what I mean? I'm easy to get in contact with. You know what I mean?
My bad. My wife was calling me down here in the studio wondering where the fuck I'm at. But anyway, just shout out to everybody I mentioned. Shout out to y'all. And appreciate you for having us, man.
Definitely. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. All right, man. Well, I'm gonna get out of here.
All right.
And much love to y'all, man. Nice to meet you, bro. Wait, your little daughter there, and yeah, man. Much respect and love and appreciation, man. Let's fucking do this again sometime.
Definitely. Absolutely.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
All right, man. Peace out, y'all.
On behalf of HHDG Media, we're gonna say peace.
Salute.